Hey everyone, this is Sky. I was actually just driving in my car and I was looking at this amazing, incredible supermoon, which is happening, like staring at it right now in Cancer. And I thought to myself, okay, I've got to make a video on this. I've got to talk about this energy because it is incredible and amazing. And I was not about to have time to do it at home because I have a huge schedule coming up. As a lot of y'all saw, the YouTube videos went up today and I've just got a lot of other things going on. So I'm on the road right now and I'm driving and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to record this audio as I'm going. And I think that could be kind of fun too, because I think that this kind of content on YouTube is really popular, where you're kind of doing things in different ways, or you're kind of simultaneously doing things like about your day. So I thought that it could be fun, with the whole ASMR thing going like big on YouTube right now. Anyway, so I kind of want to get into this audio and talk about the supermoon in Cancer. You may hear me like with the turn signal, you may hear me just like doing things like accelerating, like things that you do in cars, but I'm really happy to be here, and it's like I'm talking to all of my subscribers in my car as I'm driving. So maybe y'all are driving too, or maybe you're doing something and this audio will be nice to have in the background. Anyway, supermoon in Cancer, what are we dealing with there? Huge endings. This is kind of like a moon of death, actually, to be kind of funny. Cancer is the fourth house. Cancer is the IC, so it's the bottom, the very depth of depths. It's really deep. It's right at the south axis of the globe. It's like the darkness. It is the universal darkness, and we have this supermoon, this brightest moon, highlighting this type of energy. So what's basically going to happen is everything which has been shadowed out of your life, everything which has been confiscated or taken away from you will suddenly come into light. Flashbacks are going to start happening. You will probably start remembering the past in an extremely powerful way, in a way that you never have before. Cancer rules the past. Cancer rules that which we run away from, as well as that which we build ourselves up from. So our foundations in life, our experiences of love as well, and our experiences of love which hasn't really worked out, will definitely come to the surface during this time. And as I'm watching, it's just like the most beautiful sunset, and the moon is there. It's still daytime as I'm doing this reading, so it's incredible to see this supermoon like being so bright that it's like visible in the sky during the day above the horizon. It's telling me a lot of things. It's telling me basically what it wants me to know. The first thing that really comes up strongly is, what have you been avoiding and what ended too quickly? What feels like it has no chance to flourish in your life, and what are you trying to run away from and again avoid? The supermoon in Cancer is going to illuminate these things in a way that you can actually heal them, and in a way that you can actually bring into effect full closure of difficult past traumas. Cancer is a trauma sign. The moon is a trauma body in the universe, in our solar system, because it deals with emotional fluctuation, and it deals with cycles and patterns, and also the non-permanence of these ideas as well. How trauma can become your greatest asset, as well as how a happiness can become your biggest regret or fear. The moon's fluctuation and transformation throughout its monthly cycle is one of the reasons that this effect of the human condition exists. So when it's full here, and when it's in Cancer, when it's in the dark sign, when it's in the sign of nocturnal ambitions, the sign of nocturnal experiences, and shining so brightly, it sort of brings this paradoxical experience. It will be very normal over this period of a few days. And I'll talk a little bit more about the timeline and how this supermoon actually affects kind of the next 6 months here in a second. But it will be very normal over these few days specifically to suddenly be reconsidering what is traumatic and what is an asset in your life, what you actually feel about certain things. You may start to feel like you have an addiction to crisis, or you may start to feel like happiness is something that actually scares you. And this is one of the reasons that lunacy or actual mental health crisis can pop up during this time, during a supermoon in Cancer. You can definitely have people go off the deep end suddenly. You can have people become more neurotic or have a psychotic break. completely possible. So for this reason, it's a really good moon to be alone and to be in your home. Cancer rules the home, it rules your house. So building a nice solid fortress within your house now and even over the next 6 months is going to be paramount, because supermoons really, they can actually affect the energetic momentum for the year after, and sometimes even longer, but specifically the 6 months, again, until the new moon in Cancer comes. I guess that would be in July, somewhere around then. I'm not really sure. Again, I don't have anything to look at. This is just a stream of consciousness. But the energy that this supermoon puts out will project for sure until about 6 months from now through the catalyzed events which happen over the next few days. So be very careful with what events you are taking on, with what responsibilities you're taking on. It is a time where you may have a lot of responsibilities to take on, for sure, with full moon in Cancer, because this deals with like family responsibilities, and again, it's cardinal water, so like even emotional responsibilities or emotional actions that have to be taken can definitely crop up right now. It is a period of time where people can be blocked on like social media. It's a period of time where suddenly people who you think have been your biggest allies can turn on you. However, don't let me sound too negative, because the moon, again, is at home in Cancer. But the issue is with a lot of the paradigms which have been formed over the last about 2 years with Saturn and Sagittarius, and now moving into Capricorn, having had Jupiter in Libra, moving into Scorpio, it's really made people come forward in a way that that emotional responsibilities have been neglected. And I think a lot of people feel very neglected at an emotional level. A lot of people feel like their loved ones have walked away from them or abandoned them in some way. Cancer does deal with abandonment. It is the sign of the orphan, as many Cancers tend to have been orphaned or feel orphaned or abandoned. And abandonment issues is a Cancerian theme and a moon theme for sure. So any cycles of abandonment or cycles of loss or inhibitions will come to the surface now, and it's such a beautiful time to actually see them. Be careful of wanting to repress or wanting to bury any of these things which come up in yourself, because you really can't with a supermoon. It's really like, allow your fears to flourish, I want to say, because through allowing them to come to the light, they will go, because fears only become fears through being repressed or through being associated with some kind of darkness. Again, this is a supermoon. It's one of the brightest moons of the year. It needs to be brought to light so that it no longer becomes a fear. On the bright side of this moon, there can be a lot of anxieties to go away, habits to drop, through highlighting some of the darker aspects of your personality and doing that shadow work. You can drop it, or you can, like, what you feel has been holding you back, like maybe you have a lot of feelings towards an ex, or you feel that an ex has a lot of feelings towards you and you just feel really tied into that bond. Just through affirming that you want to move on and through bringing it to light and not really having to hide it or guard it, it can truly lose its power over you. This is the beauty of this moon cycle. And definitely be thinking about on like January 2nd and January 3rd specifically, if you can. I don't know when you're watching this video. It could be like 2 years from now for all I know, but definitely work on what needs to be brought to light and affirming how perhaps you don't need the darker aspects of your personality to be in the driver's seat or to take control or cling on to you in the way that they have, because that's another theme with Cancer, is clinging on to things, holding on to things too tightly, feeling unable to let go of the past or unable to let go of many different aspects that are harming you. Because again, Cancer's the crab, and we all can sort of think of those videos of like crabs being really clung on to people's skin, and it's like it can't let go, but it's so easy for the person who has so much more strength to just tear off the crab's arm, you know, or its claw, and it does grow back eventually. I'm not really an expert on crabs, but watch out for being overly clingy or feeling like you can't lose something, because it's so easy for the universe to just kind of proverbially tear your arm off right now. So for this reason, it's good to detract your grasp from as many things as you can right now. Really watch out for expectation, really watch out for needing certain aspects to go certain ways, and if they don't go a specific way, you're going to like go off the deep end. Being flexible right now is important. and openness is important as well. More of a fixed nature can be good versus cardinal nature, although there are things which need to be, I think, most likely accepted or done something with. Again, Cancer, despite it being passive, it's a sign of the crab. It has the shell. It can retract inwards. It's a cardinal sign, so it has to, at the same time, reach for something. So how can you integrate a passivity as well as an activity in your actions right now? It's just all a bit of food for thought. And I don't want to make this video too long, guys, because I'm about to get where I'm going. But I'm just looking at the moon right now. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so Cancerian. And I'm asking it if it needs me to mention anything else. Love. It needs me to mention love, and how, rather than realizing how much you've hated somebody from your past or how angry you are at somebody, now is a good time to admit to yourself how much you loved them, and how perhaps through still thinking about them, it is just a way of the universe to prove to yourself that love was one of your main actions. Also, not holding people too accountable. That's a hard thing for this moon. It's really easy with Cancer to demand accountability, and the moon is actually kind of telling me right now that take away the accountability just for a little bit here, and embrace others with love, rather than being harsh about small aspects. Watch out for harshness. There are certain situations, perhaps, or certain circumstances where it won't be so terrible to need accountability, but I would wait till like February. The entire month of January, it's more rewarding to be soft. Again, Cancer is a very soft sign, so anything which is too stabbing or too harsh just generates a lot of difficult karmic energy for the future. Okay, so how can you make love more a priority? And even how can you make being the action of being accountable a more loving action versus being so like dictatorial about it? Just watch out for needing power. Supermoon, again, it's like Superman. It's like superiority. Watch out for superiority complexes and inferiority complexes. Just really try to remove some of those layers and really affirm to yourself, like, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this difficulty anymore. I don't need to prove myself in such destructive ways. And that to me feels to be the lesson of this moon. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this impromptu recording from me driving and me on the way to fulfill commitments. Anyway, I will be talking to you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. You can book a reading with me. All the other general readings for the month are up. You should check it out. Much love, and we'll be talking soon. Bye.